All right guys, today's video is sponsored by Profoto. Basically, they sent over a couple of new soft boxes and they just told me to use them in any type of photo shoot I saw fit. Let's go ahead and open them up and see what we've got to work with. All right, the first soft box here is a 1x4 foot soft box. These are OCF soft boxes, which is their lighter, more convenient, easier to travel with system of lights and modifiers. You'll notice a difference in materials right out of the box. The OCF soft boxes are an incredibly lightweight, thin material. Now, the OCF line of lights uses a different size speed ring. It still has the same diameter, so it's going to fit on all your old Profoto lights, but the speed ring itself is thinner and it's, again, going to make it a little bit easier to travel with. So this is the original size Profoto speed ring here, and this is the OCF version. As you can see, same diameter, works on the same lights, but just a heck of a lot smaller. One thing that I really like about the OCF system is that it is now color coded. So there's colors on the speed ring, and then there's corresponding colors on each one of these rods that come with the soft boxes as well. And depending on whether you're using an Octabank or a standard soft box or a strip box like this, they're gonna go in different holes. It just makes things a lot faster. So we've got red here and we've got red here, and I'm just gonna match them up. So this is a Velcro mask that you put over the front of your softbox to make it an even thinner light if you want to. Now, most softboxes that I've seen have the Velcro on the inside of this lip here, but you'll see with this softbox, the Velcro is actually on the outside. And what this allows you to do is add things like this modifier to the outside of the softbox, and you'll never have to deal with any spill out the edges. So as you can see, there's no seam here. So there's nowhere for light to escape. It's only going to be coming out where you want it to. All right, let's take a look at this second modifier. We have an OCF 3-foot Octabank. You'll see on these rods, they're green, and every single slot on this has a green dot, so we know it's going to fit in every single hole. All right, Profoto also sent over a grid for each one of these soft boxes. Now, the reason why you'd want to use a grid is because you want soft light, you want a large light source, but you want to control the direction of that light. So this is what a grid looks like, and it keeps all of the light pointed directly forward. Simple as that. All right, here's what it looks like. Let's take some photos. I'm going to be using two different lights with this photo shoot, the Profoto B10 and the Profoto A1. Both of these are battery powered lights. The A1 is made to be used either off camera or on your camera's hot shoe as a speed light. And the way that we're attaching this to the soft boxes is with the Profoto OCF adapter. This is the best speed ring adapter I've ever used. Buy it, you'll love it. Just don't look at the price. Okay, let's do some quick side-by-side comparisons with these lights and their different modifiers. First of all, I did a test with the Octabank right above me firing down. You can see this shot with no modifiers at all. And then this second shot here has the grid. Obviously, we're gonna lose a little bit of light with the grid, but when we compensate for that with the camera or by turning up the flash, we can compare these shots side by side. First of all, you'll notice the angle of the light. With that grid, it is facing downward. This is making my shirt a little bit brighter, but it's also darkening up that background, especially towards the top of the frame. Now, the strip box I placed behind me and off frame to cut me out from that dark background. And you can see these three shots, one without any modifiers, and then with the other two. The main difference that you'll notice here is just how washed out the footage looks without that grid. The grid is focusing the light so that it hits me only, but it's not going directly into the lens. But in the other two examples, you can see that light is hitting the lens directly, and that's causing all of the blacks to be washed out. Now, obviously we could easily fix this in post, but if you're looking for the cleanest image in your photo or video straight out of the camera, using a grid is really going to help you. For me personally, I like the way both of these lights look with the grids on them, so that's what I'm going to use with my photo shoot. Now, as I'm filming this, it's Father's Day. I want to take a picture of my firstborn child. I realize that nobody on the internet cares about my baby or photos of babies at all. How do I know? Because I don't care about your babies, and I've never cared about kids or portraits of kids. However, I think you can appreciate this from a photography standpoint. Now, my son is mostly a happy kid. When it's just me and him, he's always laughing and smiling, but the second I pull out a camera, this happens. You happy now? Oh, that lasted 2 seconds. He's also so young that he's unable to sit up on his own, so the only pictures that I've really been able to get of him are him lying down or kind of laying on his stomach, and they're okay, but I really want a shot that's just him sitting up, acting like a human being. So my first thought for this photo shoot was I was going to place him on a table and have my wife hide behind him, propping him up from the back. This was a horrible idea. Nolan, can you look right here, bud? Give me a big smile, buddy. Give me a big smile. Come on. That's pretty good. Let me get that spit off your mouth. No, don't blow the spit bubbles. He's really leaning back again. There we go, it's a little smile. Oh, why is this so bad? Okay, so that didn't work at all. Obviously, we're going to have to hold him, but I think this idea is actually even better. Instead of holding him like a normal baby, I'm going to take pictures with both my wife and I holding him forward so we get pictures of him, hopefully interacting and happy, and we can get pictures of us as well. Now for these first shots, I used both lights and I think they look fine, but I just started thinking, you know, I wish that background was a little bit darker. So I ended up turning off the strip box in the back and just using one single Octabank with a grid directly over the top of the camera, and I did the shoots again. Now, as a photographer, I love using complicated lighting. It makes me feel like I'm a little bit more of an expert the more lights that I have. But I have to be honest with myself as well and say if the light's not necessary or it's making the image worse, I need to remove it. And I think in this case, I really do prefer these simple images lit with a single light. All right, guys, let's edit these photos real quick. Here I am in Luminar AI. These are my two favorite shots. First, I'm just going to click on Edit. Let's see what Enhance does up here at the top. You can see that it's naturally wanting to grab that dark background and make it just a little bit brighter. Under Mood here, you can choose a LUT, and you can go through and basically give your image a specific look. I'm a big fan of the Los Angeles look, and then we can add the amount that we want to have. So this is off, this is 100%. You know, I just want to have just a little bit of that split tone look, a little bit of the blues and magentas in the shadows. I think that looks pretty good. We can go to Eye Enhancer here, and if I do this at 100%, you'll watch his eyes start to lighten up. I can go to Eye Whitening, that'll lighten that up. I can mess with the iris flare. You can see that's like adding brightness to the bottom of the eye there. I don't want to go too heavy-handed with that. And then we can toggle this on and off, and you can see how much of a difference that's made, which is pretty wild. I think that looks pretty awesome. Now I can click this eyeball up here to see the before and after. I think that looks great. And then if I click down here, you can see it says My Template. I'm just going to save this. So now that we've saved my template, I can click over to my image, click on templates up here. There's a ton of templates that are already pre-made, but I can click on My Templates and boom, here is the one that I just made. And boom, we are done with both of these shots. So that's it, guys. I have failed many times trying to photograph my son, but in the end, we used a single light in my studio here. And these are my favorite images that we've gotten of my wife and I and the baby all together ever. For daily free content just like this, head over to fstoppers.com. And if you'd like to check out our full-length photography tutorials, head over to fstoppers.com/store. See you next time.